So we are going to start with the module questions, test of understanding, which the Pragnesh sir has made these pocket notes which are very useful. So we'll since we have already made the notes of chapter number 1 module, now we are going to solve the question and answers of this chapter. Let's start with the question number 1. Lalji Bhai has purchased the shares of a company listed on NSE. The audited financial statement of the company provides a picture of the healthy financial performance, having a robust turnover, low debt, and good profit. On above basis, he is absolutely satisfied that the money invested by him is safe and there is no chance of losing his money. Do audited results and audit reports of the company provide such assurance to investor like Lalji Bhai? Is the thinking of Lalji Bhai is correct? No, it is not correct. Audited financial statement does not provide an absolute assurance. It provide only a reasonable assurance. See, we can see the answer in the objective of audit. Sorry. Objective of audit. An audit does not provide an assurance to investor in shares regarding the safety of his money. Share price of the securities are affected by a range of factors. An audit only provide a reasonable assurance that financial statement are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and hence the thinking of Lalji Bhai is not correct. If we see the analysis of the objective of the audit, auditor's objective is to obtain a reasonable assurance whether the financial statement are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Reasonable assurance is to be distinguished from absolute assurance. Absolute assurance is a complete assurance or a guarantee that the financial statement are free from material misstatement. However, reasonable assurance is not a complete guarantee. Although it is a high level of assurance, but it is not a complete assurance. Misstatement in financial statement can occur due to fraud or error or both. The auditor seeks to obtain a reasonable assurance whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement caused by the fraud or error, and obtaining a reasonable assurance that financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement enables the auditor to express an opinion on whether the financial statement are prepared in all material respect in accordance with an applicable financial reporting framework. The opinion is reported and communicated in accordance with the audit finding through a written report as required by the standard on audit. So I have thoroughly revised you the objective of an audit. Now let's move on to second question. Scope of audit. Good Deeds Limited is engaged in a business of recycling of waste from dumping grounds of Municipal Corporation of the Indore to usable manure. It is in this way also helping to make the city clean. During a course of audit by the Zoha, a firm of the auditor, it is observed by the auditor that a company has received a notice from a central bench of National Green Tribunal for not allowing a certain environmental regulation involving imposition of hefty monetary penalty on the company. The company is yet to reply to the notice. The auditor point out the same is not stated in notes to account in financial statement. The company point out that the auditor are going beyond the scope of their work. Does such a matter fall within the scope of work? So let's revise the scope of work. Scope of audit uh, requires a proper disclosure of the financial statement is well within the scope of audit. Now let me just revise you in short scope of audit key points. So the first point was coverage of all aspects of entity relevant to financial statement being audited, reliability and sufficiency of financial information, proper disclosure of the financial information, and expression of an opinion on financial information. So the proper disclosure of financial information is required, and the auditor has acted in that power, and this matter is well within the scope of audit. Okay, now let's move on to question number 3. A huge fire broke out in Noida plant of KT Limited. Plant asset comprising building machinery and inventories were insured from a branch of a public sector insurance company. Apart from an insurance surveyor who was deputed for assessing the loss, the regional office of the insurance public sector unit also appointed CA for verification CA appointed CA for verification of the books of account, financial record of the company, and circumstances surrounding the losses. He was also to submit an early report requested to submit an early report. Would the report by a CA in nature of an audit report? So we have already seen in the scope of audit that audit is not an investigation. Okay, appointment of CA for verification of the books of account, financial record, and circumstances surrounding the loss is for a specific objective to determine the genuineness of the loss and any issue affecting the liability of the insurance company. It is an investigation and not in nature of audit report. The next is question 4. Ziba Product is a partnership firm engaged in trading of designer dresses. The firm has appointed JG and a company chartered accountant to audit their accounts for a year. The auditor was satisfied with the control system of the firm, carried out required procedure and necessary verification. In particular, they carried out a sample checking of the purchase, traced purchase bills to GST portal, and also made a confirmation from the supplier. They were satisfied with the audit evidence obtained by them as a part of the audit exercise. An audit report was submitted to the firm giving an opinion that the financial statement reflected a true and fair view of the state of the affairs of the firm. However, later on, it was discovered that the purchase manager responsible for procuring dresses from one location was also booking a fake purchase of this small value by colluding with an unethical dealer. Payment to this dealer were also made in connivance with accountant through a banking channel. The partners of the firm blamed the auditor for futile audit exercise. Are the partners of the firm correct in their view? Imagine any probable reason for such a situation. So inherent limitation of an audit. If you remember, and if you have seen the notes video, we have already written the inherent limitation of an audit, and its memory technique is nature, fear, timeliness, and other matter में आएगा future. So this was the memory technique. Not in nature of investigation, nature of financial reporting, nature not in nature of investigation,